On a clear Tuesday morning, beneath an endless blue sky over New York City, the world changed forever. The date was September 11, 2001. Commuters filled the trains. Coffee carts steamed on busy corners. Inside the iconic World Trade Center, thousands of people began their workday as they had countless times before. The Twin Towers stood tall over Lower Manhattan, symbols of ambition, progress, and global connection. At 8:46 a.m., that ordinary morning shattered. American Airlines Flight 11 crashed into the North Tower. Fire and smoke erupted from the upper floors. Confusion rippled across the city. Many believed it was a tragic accident, perhaps a small plane gone off course. But 17 minutes later, at 9:03 a.m., reality became undeniable. United Airlines Flight 175 struck the South Tower in a violent explosion broadcast live to millions watching in disbelief. In that instant, the world understood this was no accident. It was an attack. Nearly 3,000 lives would be lost that day. Inside the towers, chaos unfolded. Office workers descended smoke-filled stairwells. Some called loved ones, their voices steady but strained. Others waited for rescue, trapped above the impact zones. Firefighters and police officers rushed toward the buildings, climbing upward while thousands fled downward. They did not hesitate. The heat intensified. Steel weakened. Sirens echoed through Manhattan. At 9:59 a.m., the South Tower collapsed. In less than 10 seconds, 110 stories fell into themselves, sending a tidal wave of dust and debris through the streets. People ran through clouds so thick they turned day into night. At 10:28 a.m., the North Tower followed. The skyline of New York City was forever altered, but the attacks were not limited to Manhattan. At 9:37 a.m., American Airlines Flight 77 crashed into the Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia, the symbolic heart of the United States military. And in a field near Shanksville, Pennsylvania, passengers aboard United Airlines Flight 93 fought back against their hijackers. Knowing the fate of the other planes, they chose resistance. The aircraft crashed before reaching its intended target, likely the U.S. Capitol or the White House. Their courage saved countless lives. The attacks were carried out by the extremist group al-Qaeda, led by Osama bin Laden. 19 hijackers had boarded the planes with a coordinated plan that would shock the world. By the end of that morning, nearly 3,000 people from over 90 countries were dead. Firefighters, office workers, flight attendants, police officers, mothers, fathers, children waiting at home. The aftermath was silence and ash. For days, smoke rose from ground zero. Families searched for missing loved ones. Posters covered walls and fences, smiling faces, phone numbers, desperate pleas. The nation mourned together. Across the world, people stood in solidarity. Vigils were held in cities thousands of miles away. The attack had not only targeted buildings, it had struck at the sense of security felt by millions. In response, the United States launched what became known as the War on Terror. Military operations began in Afghanistan to dismantle al-Qaeda and remove the Taliban regime that had sheltered them. Years later, in 2011, U.S. forces located and killed Osama bin Laden in Pakistan. But the consequences of September 11th extended far beyond military action. Airport security transformed overnight. Surveillance laws expanded. Global politics shifted. Entire generations grew up in a world defined by new fears and new realities. And yet, amid the tragedy, stories of humanity emerged. Strangers carried one another to safety. Boats from across New York Harbor rushed to evacuate thousands from Manhattan in one of the largest maritime rescues in history. First responders worked tirelessly, many sacrificing their own lives. Years later, the site where the towers once stood became the National September 11th Memorial and Museum, two vast reflecting pools set in the footprints of the original towers. Water cascades endlessly into a central void, symbolizing absence and remembrance. The names of every victim are etched into bronze panels, ensuring they will never be forgotten. Today, when people look at the Manhattan skyline, they see resilience rising from loss. They see a city and a nation that endured unimaginable pain and continued forward. September 11th was not just an American tragedy. It was a global moment, a reminder of vulnerability, a testament to courage, and a day that reshaped history. If this story moved you, take a moment to reflect on the lives remembered here, and consider subscribing to continue exploring the moments that changed our world forever. Because history is not just about events, it is about people and the echoes they leave behind.